I'm starting on the street. My daily life is like a movie scene. Feel like I'm starting on the street. My daily life is like a movie scene. Cause you gon' see me for you down, feeling like the rain. I got a problem-free philosophy, but nothing like the lion. You trying to make the fight, cause the movie no really empathy. Call me asshole one more time, I might just lose my fucking mind. My girl can be a super bitch, I feel just like the hanger guy. I be half baked, smoking pineapple express. Green on me like the hook, that's how I get with all this stress. I'm throwing one like Nick Cage, don't make me take your face off. On the Sherman Club and try to keep the weight off. This is the happiness, don't take me anymore from doing less for me.
The best of me just rest with me, help me reach my destiny.
Well, I just finally through with me. Whoever get my eulogy, she talk me up as usually. And take the group for shooting you. Bitch, who directed wrote the greatest and the bloopers. Then bury me where all my friends and groupies be God. My daily life is like a movie scene. Feel like I'm starting on the street. I act ass. My daily life is like a movie. Feel like I'm starting on the street. I act
They never catch me, Tyler Perry. Why did I get married? I'm sick of hearing liars fuck with Jim Carrey.
I'm bossing up, pimping ain't dead and silent necessary. Like Samuel, it's time to kill the people. Outside my social network, it's a business chase on massacre. Got more money.
No damn way, but every time I make it rain, I cause a major pain.
Like Samuel, I'm changing life. Explain exactly what I study.
Y'all niggas lost like Nemo. I'm so Robert De Niro. I'm cashing out casino. They say he got game, and I just say thank you, Jesus. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Wednesday show here, guys. Obviously, I said for people that don't know, that's just watching the show, I will be only doing shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, guys. So weekends, Tuesday, Thursday, you can't catch me over there at J Money is Money every single day, 24/7, questions, whatever, posting all my overnight plays, man. I'll have a college basketball sharp report later today, all that type of stuff. Happy New Year, happy Lunar New Year to everybody that celebrates, man. I actually like this one more than the American New Year, if you will. So it's all love, man. Shout out to everyone that has join the channel and subscribe to the members list over there at jmoneyismoney.com. You do get the plays emailed to you instantly, my guys. So if you want all the plays, go check out jmoneyismoney.com. About to break down the card here. Most of the games here. There will be about 4 games that I won't go through. Obviously, 3 of them I have some really nice plays on, man. So go check out jmoneyismoney.com. It's only $30 per month, pretty much $1 a day. I know people that charge like $15 a day. You see what I'm saying? So this is $30 for the whole month of plays, man. So even if you're betting like $10, I'm pretty sure you can make that shit back pretty quickly. Let's get straight to it here, man. Let's go over here to the streets of Indiana in this one. Pacers land 7 points at the house, coming back from a little vacation in this one, man. Obviously, these two teams have already faced off 3 times this season. They faced off in the first game of the season, literally the first day. The Pistons were actually on them boys, and they came back. The Pacers ended up coming back and winning that game by 5. But I remember that the Pistons had a sizable lead versus them. They actually can match up really well versus the Pacers when they had Ivy. So that's the only thing we saw in their last game with the Pistons versus the Cavs. They were hanging with them for a while. They really lacked that second ball handler, that instant scorer, and Jaden Ivey. They're really starting to miss him out there. Versus some teams, it won't really matter, but versus some of the top tier teams and that really are very well balanced, that's when the Pistons really miss Ivy. It's really Cade Cunningham and everybody else. They rely on Tim Hardaway Jr. and guys like Malik Beasley. They're going to need Duran to have a good game game as well, man. So if Malik Beasley, THJ, they hitting those threes, they can stay in the game. They need some from Tobias Harris, but I don't want to lay points with I'm not laying 7 points with a team that just came back from vacation. They were in Paris a whole week. I see guys go. I mean, obviously they're touring the city. They're going to fashion shows. They're doing all this type of stuff. Obviously, they dropped that first game to the Spurs, got smacked up. Then they come and bounce back in the second game. I remember we had a real nice play in Pacers first quarter at Nell, and I believe that game was on Saturday. Real nice spot with the Pacers and Nell, and they end up cashing a trifecta on that one on Saturday. Really nice play for the first quarter there, man. So obviously, the Pacers have been playing well. They starting to play a lot better, starting to play like Pacers basketball, 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the spread last 10. But I hope you understand, like I say, coming off of a week in Paris over there, you have to get back used to your body clock over there. We'll talk about that in the later game as well with the Spurs. But in this one particular, this one you're asking them to damn near lay double digits, to damn near win by double digits. I can't do it in this one, man. So in theory, Pistons are in a bounce back spot, but this is a spot where I'm going to stay off of this game, in my opinion. If I had to bet it, I'd probably lean towards the Pistons, but like I say, they're going to need Cade Cunningham to go for a major game here. So you could also just kind of look at some Cade props. The team goes where Cade goes, in my opinion, man. So slightest of leans to the Pistons. If I had to bet it, I'd probably take Pistons, but this is a game that I am going to stay off of, guys. Do have a bet in this next one here. Let's go over here to the streets of what are you doing? Let's go over to the streets of Washington, D.C. in this one, man. Wizards getting 6.5 points at the house versus the Raptors in this one, man. Raptors have actually been playing really great basketball. It's actually pretty crazy to see. They're also 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 games versus the Washington Wizards as well. Do I want to lay points with the Raptors? Not necessarily. I do think that it's the only way that I can look in this particular game. Let me just see something real quick. But I took Wizards team total over. We took Wizards team total under 112.5 in this particular game. Like I say, the Raptors have pretty much owned them 8-2 straight up last 10 versus the Wizards as well. But their team total at 112.5 is too high. It's that simple, man. This is kind of the same thing what we've been doing with the Nets. Wizards, they're not the best of basketball teams. We know that offensively or defensively. I believe they've lost 14 straight games. They've only scored more than 113 points twice in their last 13 games, man. You see what I'm saying? So it's only twice in their last 13 games that they've went over this team total. You look at the Raptors as well. The Raptors have actually been playing some really great defense. Number 1 defensive rated team over the last 7 games, man. Over the last 5, they're number 2 defensive rated. So that's the reason why they've won 6 of their last 7 games and beat some good teams in there as well. We're not going to call the Warriors a good team, but they beat the Celtics. They smacked the Raptors, held them to 93 points, beat the Hawks in back-to-back games as well, and then they held the Pelicans to 104 points the last game as well, man. So I'd lean Raptors if I had to bet aside. I think the best bet in this game is the Wizards team total under 112.5. That's my one play today here on the show, guys. So Wizards team total under 112.5. Like I say, Raptors defense, let's just hope the trend continues. They've been locking up Scotty Barnes, Davion Mitchell, even RJ Barrett, been playing some really nice, sound defense. The only reason why this total is this high is because the pace of these two teams, they will kind of get up and down the court. But I think the Raptors set their defense. They should absolutely stifle the Wizards in this one. I don't see the Wizards getting past 110 points in this one, man. Give me Wizards team total under 112.5. Let's go over to the streets of New York in this one, man. Knicks land 3 points. Let's go over to the streets of New York in this one, guys. Knicks land 3 points at the house versus the Denver Nuggets in this one, man. I don't know why my computer is kind of tripping here, but I'm sure you guys can still hear me, so let's keep going here. Knicks land 3. It's a high-ass total, man. Not going to lie. High-ass total. I told y'all last game, man, I think the Knicks, one of them ones, man, they really finally starting to put shit together, 31-16. No one's giving them credit. No one's talking about them. Karl-Anthony Towns going over there is low-key unfair. You pair him with Brunson. And you remember what they did last year? I mean, shit, they got Cat. They got Mikal Bridges. You remember OG Anunoby went there last year. Still got Josh Hart. Still got Jalen Brunson. Their starting 5 is literally unfair, man. I'm starting to believe they might have one of the best starting fives in the league. Like when they put all things together, put everything together, they're starting to figure it out. Like, hey, we need to play lockdown defense and play our offense off of that. And they scored 143 points back-to-back games, man. Keep sleeping on the Knicks, man. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to stop saying it because I want people to sleep on them. I think they might be the best team in the East, man. I don't care what nobody says. It's just my opinion. It doesn't really matter what my opinion is. It only matters what's going to cash. You see what I'm saying? But I think the Knicks are absolutely balling right now. 7-3 straight up last 10. Like I say, 143 back-to-back games versus two teams that were red hot, Kings and the Grizzlies in this one. They've actually owned the Nuggets as well. They're 4-1 straight up and against the spread last 5 games versus the Nuggets in this one. So I know that the Nuggets have revenge. They got smoked in Denver last game, 145-118. And it just goes to show you, if they put up 145 on them in Denver, who knows what they're going to do in this one. Now, the Nuggets are coming. They do have revenge. They're coming off back-to-back pretty much bad losses. They got smoked versus the Timberwolves and then versus the Bulls as well. Yeah, Jokic got a triple-double. Yeah, they still lost as 9.5-point favorites to the Chicago Bulls and gave up 129 points, man. So, I still think this team is smoke and mirrors. I like what they do with Westbrook and Jokic starting lineup, 2 walking triple doubles. I like that. Still think they're smoke and mirrors, man. I'd lean to the Knicks in this one. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Now there are people that it doesn't even matter, but a lot of people on the Knicks in this one. I'm not going to talk them off. Would I be surprised if the Nuggets came in here with revenge and played a really nice game? I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I'm not betting this game. It's still Knicks or nothing for me here. And the slightest of leans to the under here, because I feel like if the Nuggets have revenge and they really want to come to play in this game, that means you got to kind of slow down the pace and try to really slow down the Knicks and try to make this game like at a snail's pace. And you got to come in and play top tier defense as well. That's the only way you're going to be able to hang in this game. So this is a super high total. I would lean to the under in this one, but I don't even have a plan in this game. It's a game that I'll watch, maybe even make a live bet in this one. Lean Knicks, lean the under, but it's not something that I'm super excited about betting. I do think there's better games on the card in this one. Let's go over to the streets of Philadelphia in this one. Sixers getting 9.5 points at the house versus the Sacramento Kings in this one, man. Don't necessarily like the spot for the Kings here. A lot of rumblings. Obviously, we see De'Aaron Fox. He wants to go to the Spurs. But the Kings aren't stupid. They're like, shit, if you want De'Aaron Fox, you send us draft picks and players that can win right now. You see what I'm saying? So they know that Fox is in his prime right now, but also it's going to come to a point where the Kings got to make a decision because he's a free agent in 2026. So you don't want to lose Fox for nothing. You want to get something back from him. He's not re-signing with the Kings. And I kind of thought of this as well when he didn't re-sign his extension. I said, something's going on in Sacramento. I don't think that I think Fox is tired of that mediocrity over there. He want to go team up with Wemby over there. And that'll be a scary-ass duo right there. I'm telling you that right now. Fox and Wemby, the boys would be a top 5 team in the West immediately, in my opinion, man. So Sixers did own these guys for the longest. They had won 8 straight versus the Kings. Then the last 2, the Kings like, hold up. Now we starting to turn the table. So the Kings have actually won the past couple meetings versus the 76ers, but those games were in Sacramento as well, man. So let me just look at it. I had some trends here, man. My phone's tripping real quick, but I want to see what Sacramento's 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games against Philadelphia, man. And it's probably even worse in Philly as well. For whatever reason, this team has just owned them now. We know that there's no I don't know if Drummond's in there or not. They're definitely going to need him versus Sabonis. Can you guys believe that they had Sabonis rebounds set at 17.5, bro, last night? I just thought that was pretty crazy. It's not that he can't go over it, but I just thought that was really crazy. The fact that it's like, I don't think I've ever seen that somebody's rebound set at 17.5, man. I know he can go for 20, but like the fact that you have to bet on him to pretty much go for 18 or you lose your bet, that's freaking wild in my opinion, man. But Sixers, Drummond, Martin, and Paul George, all game time decision. Paul George probably more is like doubtful. He's got something like going on with his finger. Who knows, man? Paul George and B, Why did they let these guys team up? Two of the most injury-prone players that you will find in the NBA, man. So I don't like the spot here for the Kings, though. I can't lay 9.5 with the team that's talking about trading their best player. It's like, if you're Malik Monk, you're DeRozan, if you're Sabonis, you're like, damn, man, you don't even want to play with us no more, bro. And now we're supposed to pass you the ball or act like we like you now. You see what I'm saying? So he is still on the team, but he pretty much kind of say, like, he didn't necessarily request a trade, but by him not signing the extension, by him saying, I want to go to the Spurs, by them ramping up trade talks, internally, he's told them, I don't want to play for this team anymore. So I don't necessarily like that. Obviously, sometimes teams can rally around that, but you talk about laying 9.5 on the road here, I can't do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that they won't win the game, but you're asking them to win by double digits, and they have inner turmoil. I can only look towards the Sixers here. Sixers have actually played a lot better without Paul George out there for whatever reason. They've won 3 straight games and covered 3 straight as well. They just beat the Cavs outright as 9-point underdogs at the house. Beat up on the Bulls on a back-to-back spot. No one gave them a chance in literally either one of these games, guys. I'm telling you this. Nobody gave them, because they had just lost 7 straight games. Beat the Cavs outright, 9-point underdogs. Go to Chicago next night, back-to-back, 3.5-point underdogs. Smack them up, 109-97. In the last game, they faced the Lakers. Everybody and their grandma is on the Lakers in that one. They smack them. I know AD went out in that game. They were still on their ass even while AD was in the game, 118-104. So Philly starting to play a little bit better. They're getting 9.5 here at the house. I can only look towards the Sixers. I heavily lean towards Sixers plus 9.5 here, especially with the news going on with Sacramento. This is also the 4th game of their 6-game road trip as well. They're out on the East Coast. Like I say, man, I don't think that this is a bet on spot for the Kings, in my opinion. And like I say, Sabonis, 17.5 rebounds. That's absolutely bonkers there. I know he can get it, but like I say, asking him to get it and bet on it, that's wild right there, man. But I'd heavily lean towards Sixers plus 9.5, and I might end up on the Sixers plus 9.5 in that way. Let's go over to the streets of Boston in this one, man. A few more games in this one. Celtics land 14.5 points at the house versus the Bulls in this one, man. Bulls will not have Zach LaVine for the next 3 games. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that he's probably about to get traded. The trade deadline is coming up, guys. You never know when somebody's about to get traded. You never know if Jamie Butler's about to get traded somewhere. You never know if Fox might get traded. You see what I'm saying? They saying that every team has been calling about Fox over the last few hours, man. So I will tell you this, that for whatever reason, the Bulls have done really well versus the Celtics as of late. They're 6-1 against the spread their last 7 games when playing in Boston for whatever reason. Now the Bulls, their offensive rating goes, they're like with Zach LaVine, they're like 7th best, 8th best in the NBA or something like that with Zach LaVine on the floor. With him off the floor, dead last in the NBA, 30th in the NBA offensive rating with Zach LaVine off the floor, man. That's how much he's meant to the Bulls. And shout out to Zach, because he actually, a lot of times, like, he didn't want to play for the Bulls and all this other shit. This year, maybe he knows he's going to get traded somewhere else. He put the work in the offseason, man. So I just, first off, every player should be doing that, but you have to give credit to the players that actually do that these days, because these players getting off season, they're fucking vacationing. They don't care about basketball anymore, especially the ones that's getting paid $20 million a year. They don't care about that. So it sucks that we even have to give them credit for doing their job in the offseason and actually working to be a better basketball player. But shout out to Zach LaVine, because he actually did that, man. So, but one, no parts of the Bulls here. As bad as the Celtics are coming off of a win against the spread, 2nd worst in the league, 6-25 against the spread when coming off a win. That they're as good coming off a loss, 2nd best in the NBA. So 2nd worst, we just follow the patterns, man. 2nd worst in the NBA coming off of a win, 2nd best in the NBA where they're coming off a loss at 11-3 against the spread, man. So Jason Tatum is questionable here. This is one I'd wait on, because obviously if Tatum's out, it'll go down to at least 12.5 of the total will go down, their team total, all that. But I lean Celtics here, man. Bulls, like I said, without Zach LaVine, their offense is going to fall off of a cliff. Kobe White did go through shoot around. I don't care. I think Zach LaVine means way more to this team. Celtics probably coming in this game a little bit pissed, coming off that loss to the Rockets. And that one, This is it's a high spread, high total, but I think that the Celtics could go out here and put up 125, 130 points versus this Bulls team, man. So I know that the Bulls played really well at the beginning of the season. Now they're starting to revert back to the Bulls that they're supposed to be, in my opinion, man. So could only look towards Celtics here. I do think that Jaylen Brown possibly sits this game out, and you probably get some. You could possibly even get some value on some props for somebody else, man. But I think Tatum goes ahead and sits this one out. He has a sore knee. You could tell in the last game as well, something was kind of bothering him. He didn't score. He didn't even try to score in the whole first half, man. So that what leads me to believe that he's possibly a little injured in this particular game, man. So I would lean towards the Celtics. Celtics team total over, all that shit. But like I say, if Jason Tatum is out, you will get a much better line in this one. So that's one that I would wait for. Whether he's in or out, I could only look towards Celtics over their team total. Bulls team total under, all that good stuff. I think they smacked the Bulls back to oblivion in this particular game. Let's go over to the streets of Miami in this one, man. The Heat getting 7 points at the house versus the Cavs. Darius Garland is out for rest in this game. Let me see. Let's see. Do they play tomorrow or something? Like, why are you? I just found that odd. I'm not gonna get started on the tangent, man. But these NBA players do not want to play these days. They do not want to fucking play. It's not even the NBA player, but I think it's NBA players. But they do have a game versus the Hawks tomorrow, but they're just sitting them out as rest. I just feel like if I was the Cavs here, I would take this game more serious, in my opinion, man. So now both games, because they've lost back-to-back to the Hawks as well, but historically, bro, they've gotten absolutely owned by the Heat. The Cavs are 3-17 straight up in their last 20 games playing in Miami. They've lost 7 of their last 10 playing versus the Heat as well, and they lost earlier this season as well. Remember, the Cavs have been red hot this season, and they lost in Miami early. I believe it was like 122, 114 or something like that, man. My other screen is acting up, man. So but I'm pretty sure there was a score 122, 114. They do have same season revenge. They've been getting smacked up versus the Heat. This is a bet against spot for the Heat, man. I know that they're coming off of a lucky win versus the Magic and Elwin. Double overtime game where the Magic led like 106-97 with like 2 minutes to go. And then the Heat went on a 9-0 run and when it pushed it to overtime in that particular game, ended up winning double overtime. Magic just ran out of gas. I still think even without Darius Garland, the Cavs, like they're nowhere near like the Magic. They have plenty of ball handlers, plenty of scorers, plenty of shooters. You got Strus coming back to his old stomping grounds in this one. I still think that the Heat are a fade. I know that they rallied. Sometimes you can rally around a situation, but I still think with this whole Jimmy Butler shit, I still think that the Heat are a fade. I can only look towards the Cavs in this one. Darius Garland been out hurts. I'll tell you that right now. They are missing a ball handler, but you still got we don't know if LeVert is still out. He's been out for a little while, man. But Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Mobley, these guys can take over this game, man. I'd still lean Cavs, even without Darius Garland. This is their a great opportunity for them to take advantage of the Heat even though it's not a back-to-back, coming off a double overtime game, that's a fade spot in the next game, no matter what, man, with only 1 day of rest. So could only look towards the Cavs in this particular game, even without Darius Garland. I think that Donovan Mitchell, probably him or Mobley probably goes bunkers in this particular game, my guys. Last game up. Let's go over to the streets of San Antonio in this one. Spurs getting 4 points at the house versus the Clippers. This one is a little bit different, in my opinion, because this one you get the home team that's catching points. They're not asking to lay points in this one. They're catching points. And for whatever reason, I think that the Spurs actually match up really well with the Clippers. That's just my opinion, man. So I slightest lean the Spurs, but I don't want to bet it. Them coming off of a week, same thing with the Pacers. They're coming off of a week where we know that Wemby, he's been touring, you know what I'm saying? He's been having the guys touring the whole cities. You know what I'm saying? They fashion shows, all that, man. They going to the Eiffel Tower, all that good stuff. So we know Wemby was super busy there. Everyone's betting the Clippers in this particular spot. We'll see what happens. Kawhi coming back, facing his old team. Chris Paul facing his old team as well. The Spurs, first 2 games, they played the Clippers really tough. One of those games, they were up by like 21 points. Clippers came all the way back and ended up winning by like 8 points or something. It was a crazy-ass game. They kept it close. First couple games in L.A., then the third one in San Antonio, they smoked them. It was like 122-86, something like that. I remember taking the Spurs there pretty heavy. They smoked the Clippers, man. So this is an opportunity for them to even it up. Remember, we saw the Spurs in their first game versus the Pacers. They have a plethora of wings, man, that play really great defense. When you pair that with Wemby and he has a crazy game, You have paired it with CP3 that can spread the ball around. They have veteran guys like Harrison Barnes, but I love them guys coming off the bench. But first off, Champagnie hitting threes, but Stephen Castle coming off the bench. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. Like, this Spurs team is actually low key really deep. They have not been playing well. Watch out for the Spurs in the second half of the season, whether they get Fox or not. I think they're due to go on a major run. Only 3-7 straight up in the last 10 games. They showed me some versus the Pacers, man, that this team really has a high ceiling. They just hadn't really reached it. Obviously, we're dealing with a lot of stuff with Greg Popovich having a stroke and all this type of things. I think that the Spurs are a lot better team than people give them credit for. Clippers are laying forward. The situation does set up well for the Clippers here, in my opinion. But I get this feeling, man, that the Spurs, that they might surprise some people in this one, man. So, and like I say, the difference from them and the Pacers coming home laying 7, whereas the Spurs coming home and they're the home dog. They don't even have to win the game. They just have to keep it close. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the Pacers, they got to damn near win by double digits, man. So it's a lot different situation, in my opinion. But I would lean to the Spurs plus the 4 in this particular game, my guys. But that's the show, guys. I know I didn't talk about every game. There are some games that I have plays on that's over at the site, guys. So it's a little unfair to the people that are, you know what I'm saying, supporting. And it's only $30, man. So plays over there at jmoneyismoney.com. Real nice plays, late night games. I mean, I think there's some really nice plays. I got the info on them. That's where they at, man. Subscribe to the members over there. It's $30. You can play through PayPal. You play through credit, debit card. It's only $30 flat. See what I'm saying? Over at jmoneyismoney.com. One play for the show. We're going to go with Wizards. Team total under 112.5, my guys. I do have 3 additional plays over at the site. Go join up one time for the one time, man. It's really just showing support for me doing this show for you guys, giving you all my sauce, angles, all that over the past 5 years, my guys. So it's all love. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll try to get a college basketball sharp report up at the site as well, man. So that's where you can find me. I know people are saying they miss me. I haven't went anywhere. I'm over there at the site every single day, jmoneyismoney.com. I know there are some games I didn't do. I have some really good looks for them. That's where you can find it. Go join up right now. It's only $30, man. It's all love. I still love you guys. It's still come on here, try to break down as many games as possible, give you my leans, give you guys a play. We on Wizards team total under 112.5, man. The rest of all other plays, 4 plays sent out last night, man. Let's get this cash. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I will be back on Friday, man. Let's go. Let's get this cash, baby. We out.